Hi, good morning. Happy Monday. I hope you had a nice weekend. I am here this morning to tell you about our next major assignment. There are three sections to this course, and we're in the second section. So, the culminating assignment for the second section is to do your leadership interview. So, I'm going to walk you through that assignment here. I'm going to switch over to what it looks like on your screen. So when you go to your assignments, and there's a section called major assignments, you'll see leader interviews section 2. So here I just share that there's a lot to learn about leadership other than just the class and the topics that we're talking about. And you are surrounded by people in the world, people that you know, or people that live in your town, or people that you know from afar that have a lot of wisdom to share. I'd love for you to watch this short video of Steve Jobs talking about when he was 12 years old, making a phone call that helped change his life. And that's really what I want you to do. I want you to pick up the phone, send a text, send an email, take a risk, and ask someone if they'd be willing to let you interview them about leadership. They may or may not see themselves as a leader, but it's if you see them as a leader, either in the qualities or skills that they have, or the type of position they have, or the organization that they work with, for whatever reason you want to learn from them. So here are your instructions. You are going to choose 2 leaders to interview. And why I wanted you to choose like 2 to 4 is like in case someone's not available or too nervous or something like that, and they say no, that you have a backup. So 2 people that you genuinely want to learn from. And they can have formal or informal leadership roles. You don't need to know them personally. You can call anybody in the world. My goal is that they don't be someone like super close to you, like your family member or roommate, except if you're truly interested in their profession or their skills, then definitely do that. I just don't want you to use them because you don't want to take the risk to ask someone else or just because they're standing right there. So definitely stretch yourself. I have a lot of folks that I know through working at Butte over the past 20 years. So if you need help finding interviewees, I'd be happy to help brainstorm with you or connect you to someone. So after you choose your folks to interview, you're going to set up the interview time and the place. From what I've heard from students in the past, the minimum would be 30 minutes, and it could be up to an hour. So depending on the person and their availability. I would love for you to use Zoom or FaceTime or however, Snapchat, however you could do something virtually face to face. It's much more personal and you get to see their body language and have that connection. But if you can only do it by phone and listening, that we'll have to do. We're definitely in unprecedented times. Some of you might have the ability to meet up in person because you're in a bubble with that person or they're a part of your life, and or maybe you already work with them, but please practice the COVID guidelines. So you're going to set it up, you're going to confirm, and then you are going to conduct the interview. I have provided a series of questions here. I'm going to open, let's see, I'll open this one. This is a Word document and this is a PDF. They're exactly the same questions though. Let's see if this opens. Oh, I've got to open it up here. So on this sheet, it'll walk you through getting some basic information from them. And then I have 9 questions here that I would like for you to ask. You can take notes on this page or on a separate document. And then after you get through these 9 questions, you can certainly add your own questions at this point. You might know those questions in advance, or maybe something during your interview has come up and you you have thought of them and you want to add them there. So let's see if I can get out of this now. Let's see. Okay, back here. So those are your questions. Take notes, or you can record it and listen back. And then I want you to answer these reflection questions. Why did you choose these two people? What are the most important things you learned or gained? What surprised you or made you curious? What motivated you or inspired you? Which of the recommendations do you think you'll follow through, and which ones you won't? And any questions about leadership or your interviewees that you have now that you didn't have before. And so I would love for you to try to bring those together and compare and contrast them, not just this person said this, that person said this, but where you can, to draw the similarities and differences, and to take meaning from that would be great. Then you're going to turn in your reflection through Canvas, and please thank your interviewees. So for grading, this is worth 50 points. Overall quality is 10 points. Turned in on time, all sections complete. Formatting is easy to read and follow. You're being mindful of your grammar and your spelling. Just by doing the 2 interviews and showing evidence of that, you get 10 points. And then 30 points for the content. So the questions are answered fully, and there's a minimum of 150 words per question. So that's the assignment. And let me go back here. I will share, I've been doing this assignment for at least 10 years. And I consistently hear from students that this is one of their most meaningful experiences that they have, to have this connection with folks in their industry. Or, I mean, I've had people interview their parents and they never really knew what they did at their jobs, like whether they be a teacher or a vice president or field worker or someone like that. These type of questions bring up different conversations for a relationship. I also had a student that ended up getting promoted. She was working as a secretarial position, and her boss, they had a really challenging relationship with each other, but she decided to interview her boss anyway. And through the process of the interview, the boss said, I didn't know you were taking a leadership class. I didn't know you were interested in these topics. They had never talked about anything other than really transactional, like I need you to do this or I need you to do that. Anyway, it launched their relationship into a different experience. And then inevitably she ended up getting promoted, and it changed her life. And I'm not promising that or saying that will happen to you, but having this kind of depth of conversation can be really meaningful for the person that you're interviewing, and hopefully for you too. So that is a brief description, and contact me if you have any questions. And this is due at the end of section 2, so that is November 8th. So you have a few weeks to do this, but definitely would not wait to the last minute. Usually people do have schedules, so set your interviews up as soon as you can, and then you can take your time to do the reflection. All right, have a great week.